Hello everyone, and welcome to my EastEnders Media News channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The hour-long Wednesday 7:45 p.m. EastEnders episode features a horrifying sexual attack on Yolande Trueman at the hands of Pastor Gideon Clayton. Complete listings are available in our TV guide. Stressed out Yolande ends up on the receiving end of Stella Clayton's caustic remarks on the day of the fundraiser. The pastor's wife believes Yolande has feelings for her husband, but in reality, it's the other way around. Even though Yolande and the pastor are just getting materials for the church event, Yolande's partner Patrick incorrectly believes that nefarious activity is involved and is unimpressed when he discovers them together. Patrick's jealousy overwhelms him, so Yolande angrily lashes out and forbids him from going to the fundraiser. However, what follows radically upends her world. Yolande is occupied in the kitchen getting ready for the fundraiser to begin when Gideon discovers her alone herself. Yolande is sexually assaulted horribly by the cleric, who takes advantage of her weakness to make unwanted approaches. Yolande is terrified and depressed after it. Unable to go back home and tell Patrick the truth, she goes to the laundry and meets Elaine Peacock there. Immediately noticing her friend's distress, Lainey is shocked as Yolande collapses in front of her and tells her what's occurred. Is Elaine able to convince her to report the pastor's heinous crime to the police? Jay Brown, meantime, is finding it difficult to accept the news that Nadine Keller is carrying his child. His usual reaction is to act as though nothing is occurring, which enrages Nadine, who explains why she kept her pregnancy a secret from him earlier. Jay turns to confidant Gina Knight for counsel, and she advises him to talk to the rest of his family right away. Afterwards, Jay gets Billy Mitchell, Honey, and Callum halfway together and announces he's going to be a father. But how is he going to break the news to his stepdaughter Lexi Pierce? On the eve of Lucy's terrible 10th anniversary, the Beals are feeling contemplative. Ian and Peter gather their loved ones for a reunion, but as Cindy finds it difficult to remember some moments, she is made acutely aware of how much of her daughter's childhood she was deprived of. Filled with remorse and sorrow, Cindy excuses herself and heads to the boxing den in search of George Knight. Is he giving her more than just a shoulder to weep on, though? In addition, Whitney Dean is nervous about bringing Brittany, her foster daughter, to Walford High for her introduction. Whit gets Britt to lie on her behalf after realizing that she has been lying to the school. However, Lauren Branning snaps at Whit after realizing what she's done, which causes the best friends to argue. Tuesday's 7:30 p.m. episode of EastEnders features Jay Brown learning he's going to be a father when Nadine Keller reveals she's expecting. See our TV guide for full listings. After several months of no communication, Jay was taken aback when the escort left him a voicemail requesting an urgent conversation. Following the untimely death of his wife Lola Pierce Brown from cancer, Jay developed a strong bond with Nadine and ultimately paid for her in-bed services. Jay tells his good friend Gina Knight about Nadine's message and acknowledges that he hasn't responded to her yet. Jay is advised by Gina to meet with Nadine and ascertain her desires. However, when the ex-lovers finally meet, Jay is shocked to learn that Nadine is expecting a child, and it will be his. Jay turns and runs away, too shocked to process what Nadine has just told him. After his brawl in the underground boxing club, George Knight wakes up on Phil Mitchell's couch across the square, bruised and broken. When he gets back to the Vic, his fiancée Elaine Peacock and daughters Gina and Anna notice his wounds. Nevertheless, George discovers that a group of thugs jumped him. After their acrimonious altercation the day before, George later tries to reconcile with his father Eddie Knight, but a setback drives him into a tailspin of hopelessness. Elaine agrees to give George some space as he storms off, but Cindy Beale, who is worried, confronts Phil and asks to know where her ex-husband is going. After Phil admits to Cindy about George's risky new hobby, they head to the boxing club. They find George fighting with the bouncers because they won't let him in. In an attempt to reason with George, Cindy steps in and returns him to the boxing den. Will the ex-couple's arguments result in something more, though? In the meantime, Jack's affair with Stacy Slater has baffled Patrick Trueman, who wants to know why Denise Branning doesn't seem to care. He plans a family dinner that includes the kids in an effort to unravel the mystery. Yolande Trueman accepts to go even though she is quite busy with the fundraiser, and she extends an invitation to Pastor Clayton to join them when he interrupts their meal. Patrick quickly discovers, to his dismay, that the pastor is more aware of Denise's recent problems than he is. Patrick is likewise not fond of his proximity to Yolande and the family. Additionally, Lauren Branning puts pressure on Whitney Dean, Brittany's best friend, to return Brittany to Milton Keynes. When the soon-to-be mother realized the adolescent was being neglected by her alcoholic birth mother, she took the snap choice to foster her. Whit neglected to disclose her actions to her lover Zach Hudson, who was taken aback when she returned Brittany to Walford. Whitney is adamant that they start a new life together, while Lauren believes Brittany should return to her roots and prioritize taking care of Zach and their pregnant child. Whit, predictably, isn't having any of it and makes a point of enrolling Brittany at Walford High. On Monday at 7:30 p.m., EastEnders Jay Brown admits he can't run the London Marathon due to last-minute anxiety. See our TV guide for full listings. Is there a chance that his training partner Honey Mitchell will convince him otherwise? The soap opera made the first announcement that it will feature actual video of actors Jamie Borthwick, Jay, and Emma Barton, Honey Mitchell, finishing the course as their characters. In memory of those who have lost their lives to brain tumors, including his late wife Lola Pierce Brown, Jay is running 26.2 miles. The London Marathon Day is approaching, and the square is a hive of activity. However, Jay is thinking about other things. The recent shocking revelation that escort Nadine Keller is expecting his child has completely upended the widower's existence. Jay decides he can no longer participate in the marathon because he is too stressed. But Honey doesn't accept no for an answer and gets him to the starting line after all those demanding months of preparation. Meanwhile, Brittany Wainwright is involved in a bike accident that retaliates calamity on the square. The misbehaving teenager, who has been living in foster care with Whitney Dean and Zach Hudson, requires immediate medical attention. Billy Mitchell takes the 3 to A&E, but in the process, he misses the opportunity to support Honey and Jay at the marathon start line. Billy eventually makes it across town after making a crazy rush, but his bad luck doesn't end there. Will Jay and Honey cross the finish line before Phil Mitchell and his granddaughter Lexi Pierce arrive at the conclusion of the course later on? Whitney and Zach are startled to learn that Brittany has type 2 Usher syndrome after visiting the hospital. The disease, according to the physicians, will cause hearing and vision abnormalities, which will have an impact on the child's future. Will Whitney decide not to nurture Brittany in light of this news? In addition, traumatized Yolande Trueman continues to suffer following the sexual attack by Pastor Gideon Clayton. Yolande is frightened and shaken after the predatory cleric attacked her horribly during their charity event. Yolande surprises everyone by declaring she's going to take a long leave of absence from the church, but she's too scared to tell Patrick what occurred. Preacher Clayton pretends to be shocked by the news and teams up with Patrick to convince Yolande to stick with her beliefs.